I'm back with another album review. Today's review will actually be on an EP this time. The EP in question is Permanent Radiant by Crosses. This is the newest EP by Crosses and it's a follow-up to their debut album, which I reviewed 2 years ago. That is a great album and it still holds up after nearly a decade. 2020 was the year Crosses got back together. Though it was just Chino Moreno and Sean Lopez. Chuck Doom was part of the band during their original run, but tensions between him and his bandmates led to the band splitting up. Chino and Sean made the decision to either reform Crosses without Chuck or not do it at all. In the end, they decided to do it without him. I mentioned that their comeback towards the end of 2020 began with a cover of the song The Beginning of the End by Cause and Effect. A year later was when they covered Goodbye Horses by Q Lazarus. March 18th, 2022 is when they released two new songs, Initiation and Protection. Both these songs end up receiving music videos, and I'm including links to both videos in the description. Now we get to Permanent Radiant. This EP was recorded at the Dojo in Los Angeles and Pink Chalice in Bend, Oregon. The EP was self-produced, though Sean Lopez is credited separately despite being part of the band. I think the reason why he was credited separately is because he engineered the EP. Now, the photo on the cover was taken by Nico Lamera. Now, the EP was mixed by Clint Gibbs. It was mastered by Eric Broyle at Broyle Masters in Stockholm. The EP was announced on October 28th, 2022 and released on December 9th of the same shitty year on Warner Records. I think it's for the best that Crosses made that transition from Sumerian Records to Warner Records, because the owner of Sumerian Records, Ash Alvidson, came out against vaccination card requirements for concerts. Honestly, that terrorist can eat his own shit for all I care. Anyways, the EP was announced as sort of an appetizer for a full-length album for a future date. The EP has only 6 songs on it, and we're going to go over them one at a time. The intro to this EP is Sensation, which was released as a single on November 18th, 2022. A music video was made, and I'll include a link in the description. The next track is Vivian, which was released as a single on October 28th, 2022. When I listened to this song, I thought it sounded amazing, especially since there is more music from Crosses on the way. I think this is the best song on the EP, and not just one of my favorite Crosses songs. A music video was made, and I'll include a link in the description. After that is Cadaver Exquis. Well, the EP was engineered by Sean Lopez. He had help from Jono Evans on this track. Jono also plays guitar with Sean on this track, though Dakota Floater provided additional guitar. Now, what comes next is Day One. This was released as sort of a B-side on the Vivian single. The second to last track is Holier. Even though this track was not released as a single at the time of me making this video, there was a music video made, and I'm including a link in the description. The finale of this EP is Procession. Personally, I think this track ends the EP perfectly. I couldn't find any info on how this EP performed commercially, despite the fact that it was released on a major label, and EPs don't perform nearly as well as albums most of the time. And from what I've seen is that it mostly received positive reviews. In fact, Nick Ruskell on Kerrang gave it a 4 out of 5, and the EP deserved that rating. It's also been received exceptionally well on Amazon and Discogs. Now for my thoughts. Personally, I think this is a great EP, though it's hard for me to decide if it's better than Cross's debut album. I actually featured Permanent Radiant as one of the best EPs of 2022. I'll include a link to my video on the best albums and EPs of 2022 in the description, in case you haven't seen that yet. Overall, I highly recommend this EP, and I'm looking forward to the album that Crosses have coming soon. Here's hoping that the album will have those singles that I mentioned earlier. Supposedly, Crosses recorded 20 songs in total, and the 6 that are on this EP are sort of an appetizer for what's coming down the line. Also, I can guarantee you that Luna and Octavia would enjoy this EP, which is why I have them right next to me. Now, this is part where I question you. Have you listened to Permanent Radiant? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Well, what's your favorite song from it? How do you think Luna and Octavia would react to this EP? Do you think Cross's next album will include the singles that preceded the tracks on the ZP? Well, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with another video.